Good morning, my name is Caitlin and I am a homesteading and homeschool mom of 3, and today I'm just going to take you along with us on our day, show you kind of what it looks like, just a small peek into our life. Come along. Okay, so this week is a little bit different than normal. Typically my husband is here to go and do farm chores with us, but at our church where my husband works for 3 weeks in January, we do something called 21 days of prayer and fasting. And so we have prayer service at 6 o'clock every weekday morning. And so he has to be there around like 5:15 every morning. And so the kids and I have been getting up, watching the prayer service online, and then going to do chores. So typically he would be here with us to do some of this, but this week looks a little bit different since we're doing some of the chores in the morning by ourselves, and then he's coming in the afternoons and finishing up what needs to be done. But first thing, I am about to make me some coffee and get some things ready to turn on the prayer service and watch that. And I'm going to show you a new coffee that I've been drinking. Some of you may think it's a little bit crazy. I have to hold over the sink to pour our coffee. We have a Keurig that also makes a coffee, like a whole pot. And for whatever reason, this pot, it wants to leak when you pour it. Does anybody else have that issue? Is it just us? So, anyways, I've been making what people call homestead coffee. I've heard some people call it like an eggy coffee or egg yolk coffee. But basically, you have black coffee and then you add a raw egg yolk, some cream or milk, and maple syrup is what I like to add. Also probably usually add in a little bit of brown sugar, but I'm going to show you how I make it now. Okay, so I have everything out that I need. I typically mix the egg, so it's just the egg yolk, so I separate out the yolk from the white, and then I'll put it into like a mason jar and then pour in my milk. This is raw milk from our cow Phyllis. We have a dairy cow. And then also add in maple syrup. And then I mix it all up with this immersion blender that I have. I would love to get something a little bit smaller. It's a little bit kind of overkill, but I already had it, so I've been using it. But I'd love to get just like a small, I think like just a small frother or something like that would work really well. Also, I would not do this with store-bought eggs. I would just use like organic pasture-raised eggs from a local farm, from your backyard, somewhere that you trust. These are our eggs from our chickens, and we have a few chickens that they're still pretty young, so they're laying some smaller eggs. You can see this one's pretty tiny. So I've been using these smaller eggs in my coffee. I mean, you could use a large size egg too, it wouldn't matter, but I'm just trying to make use of these smaller ones for this. Gotta mix up that milk. It separates, the cream goes on top. You could just use cream, or like heavy whipping cream, instead of whole milk or just milk, but I like to use all of it. And then just add in some maple syrup. I don't really use any measurements, just kind of eyeball it. But the surprising thing about this is once you mix it up, once you froth this and mix it all together, it makes it really foamy, and then you're pouring it in on top of your coffee, so it's almost like you have a latte. It's really good. Always just mix that together with a spoon. That'd be completely fine. I like using that immersion blender because I feel like it really gets it all mixed together really well. All right, and then we're just gonna pour on top. See if you can see a little bit better. I don't want to spill my coffee. Yep. Alright, we're getting ready to go to the farm, but before we do, I want to get a load of laundry started. I've been working with a community called the Lookup Collective, and it's like a coaching community where we focus on different things. But one thing that we've been working on is establishing routines that serve you and serve your family. And so I've been trying to implement a few different things, and one of those is staying on top of laundry. So by starting a load every morning before we go do chores, that helps me to stay on top of it, and then I'm able to switch it over to the dryer when I get home. So that's something I'm going to do now. And another thing that I've been doing in the morning is unloading the dishwasher. That way we're able to load and add things to it throughout the day, and typically that gets done after we get back from chores while we're doing the milk and stuff, but I actually got up a little bit earlier this morning and did it first thing. So I'm going to get this laundry in, and then we'll get packed up and ready to go to the farm. We made it to the farm, and we're going to get chores started. Emma Kate hanging out with me today. Say hello. Grayson's hanging out with Ellison. Once it's a little bit warmer and not so yucky outside, then Ellison will start coming back out to do chores with us again. So right now the kids take turns babysitting while we do chores. Scraps to the chickens. What they don't eat, we could carry down to the pigs later today. They may not eat all of that stuff, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna check for eggs. Let's check right here first, sister.
You see
Oh, yep, I see some. They seem pretty happy with the scraps. Okay, let's check. Yep, see, they're carrying them around. Yeah, let's check in here in this bigger coop. We've had some broody hens lately. Yep, here they are. Broody hens.
Broody hen.
1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta kick them out.
Yeah, Mom. Shake her head like Phyllis.
We did put wood chips down around the outside of the coop area, so it's not quite as muddy. Yeah. But we've still got to clean out in there and put some new wood chips down, and inside of this coop up top we need to clean it out and refill it. We refilled and cleaned that one out. Alright, here comes the chicken. We thought it was like trying to still lay an egg, so we gave it some privacy. Let's go check. What do you think? You think there'll be some more eggs in there?
I hope so. I don't think it took a long time. He probably just constipated.
I think he's a constipated chicken. How many did we get?
16.
16. Let me see. They're all colorful and pretty. Yeah, we have had some really small ones. This is what I was showing you guys earlier. We've got a few that are tiny, but
Like,
most of them are larger. That one's warm. I must have laid it not too long ago. Alright, let's go get alfalfa and take care of Phyllis.
Okay.
Good morning, Phyllis. You ready? Alright, sister, let me go turn off the fence and we'll get started. So I forgot to wash the milking pail last night. I'd only washed this like canister we use for traveling. So I'm having to milk into it today, but it's okay. Serves the same purpose, just a little bit smaller area to milk into, but it's okay. Works out well. So pretty much every morning you will find me out here milking unless one of the kids are sick or I'm sick. And then sometimes when we're all out here together, Matt's dad will jump in and finish milking for me because he's a little bit faster. And Emma Kate, our middle daughter, she's learning how to milk too. Aren't you, girl? Mm-hmm. So the kids, they help us out a lot when we're out here in the mornings. one kid right now is currently kind of helping watch Ellison, and then the other kid usually helps out here on the farm. So like Emma Kate will help refill her alfalfa bucket as we go. They help collect eggs and give them water and milk. Yep, helping film. And then when Matt is here in the mornings, we move her to a new paddock, and so they help with putting that new paddock together and help moving her and all of that. Right now we're doing that in the afternoons. We just finished cooking breakfast. The kids cooked breakfast for us. They made pancakes and smoked sausage, and so we're about to sit down and eat breakfast and do our morning read alouds. So usually first thing in the morning we do like our Bible time, and we go over, it's called 24 Family Ways, and that's by the Clarkson, Sally Clarkson. It's just like some different like family values and things that we talk about. And then we also are going to do our history read aloud. We're talking about the Civil War right now, and so we're going to get some of that done here at the table while we eat breakfast, and then we'll probably move to the couch to be a little more comfy, not comfy. All right, so we finished with breakfast and our Bible time and all of that. So I'm going to let the kids take a little break, and they're actually working on a YouTube video. That's kind of their creative project right now. They both have created YouTube channels, and so they're learning, you know, all of the stuff like with videography and editing and all of that, and we're just kind of closely monitoring what they put out. But while they're taking a break, I'm going to mix up some sourdough bread. I'm going to go ahead and mix up the dough for that. That way it can be rising today and I can get it in the oven later tonight. I'm using the recipe. Oh, you can see, look how bubbly it is. I fed it this morning. It's nice. I'm using the recipe from Farmhouse on Boone for her sourdough sandwich bread. This recipe makes 2 loaves, and so my mixer stand, this part is not large enough to really handle that much. So, okay. So I'm only gonna make 1 loaf at a time. I guess I could, well, no, I'm hoping, I don't know, maybe you guys can let me know. I'm wondering if I can just get a bigger bowl and then I will be able to use more, or if my actual machine just can't handle more. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can let me know. But we're going to follow this recipe and get it mixed up because that needs to rise for a while. I'll have to cook it later tonight, but that's fine. We just need to have some sandwich bread on hand. Alright, I have the dough made. It's sitting here. I'm going to cover it with a tea towel and let it rest for several hours and then bake it later tonight. Alright. Washing eggs. We don't really, for ourselves, we don't normally wash the eggs. We just leave them on the counter in a basket, because if you didn't know this already, an egg is laid, it has a coating on it called a bloom, and this is a protective coating that doesn't allow anything to get inside of it, and so you can keep your eggs that have not been washed out on the counter. And so for us, we typically do that. For customers, my son, he has an egg business, and I'm helping him out today because I'm washing these eggs, but he sells them just to family, friends, people around town, and most of our clients don't care for dirty eggs, which is fine. We don't mind washing them. So anyways, we have a drop off this afternoon for some eggs when we go into town, so I'm washing these off so they can lay out to dry and we can get them packaged up for them. So sourdough is something that I started just a couple of months ago, really. I had a friend who goes to church with us and co-op with us. She actually started sourdough, and she brought me a sourdough starter to try out, and gave me all the tips of how to like feed it and care for it. And it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but it was something that I was overwhelmed by, because I've not always been comfortable in the kitchen, and I'm still growing in how comfortable I am in the kitchen and in my skills. Like when Matt and I first got married, I couldn't even like boil eggs. I mean, it was really sad. I think I've said this before, I caught our kitchen on fire trying to fry okra one time. But since then, over the years, he taught me a lot about how to cook and bake and things like that. But just recently I've started trying to do things more from scratch and homemade, and not using like boxed items or prepackaged things, just easier foods. I mean, every now and then, we still do that, obviously. We're growing and learning. But sourdough was one of those things that I had wanted to learn about, to work on, and so this past year I made the effort just like to try it. I figured, it's okay. There's a girl on Instagram that says, let's bake bad bread and that's okay. I wish I could remember her name. Maybe it's like Jones Root's Company or something like that. So anyways, I've started with the sourdough, and I'm just getting more and more comfortable with it. I've just been making sandwich bread because that's what we use a lot of. And then for Christmas we made cinnamon rolls. The other morning we made sourdough discard pancakes, and we made biscuits, and I was kind of impressed with myself for making biscuits. They turned out pretty good. So that's just kind of a little background on sourdough, my sourdough journey, and just some encouragement that you can do it too. It's not as hard as it seems. Once you get going and learn some of the terminology, it's really not too bad. Okay, so we're done with our read alouds and everything for the morning, and the kids are working on their independent work. They're doing some math sheets and stuff, and so I'm warming up some leftovers for lunch. We had a Mississippi mud roast that we cooked earlier in the week, and just some leftover like potatoes and stuff. And then for the kids, they're having macaroni and cheese that was left over, and chicken fingers. Chicken fingers are their favorite. So we're gonna get that, get some lunch, and then I'm just gonna continue working on their independent work. So we use just like a mixture of different homeschool curriculum. Really, we don't really stick with one set thing. So for like history, we do unit studies. Just right now we're working through American history, and we're on Civil War, so I just find books and things for us to listen to. Right now we're listening to an audio book in the car, and then we also have our chapter book for a read aloud. And then Grayson has a independent book that he is reading about the Civil War as well. And then we always, find videos to look at, like on YouTube and things like that, just for, a little bit more information. And we're going to, I think the goal is to make like a sourdough map to show the United States, and to put like little markers in there to show where some of the different battles are that took place that we were talking about. And then for math, they're just working on, Emma Kate's really trying to work on mastering her addition facts. Grayson's working on mastering multiplication facts before we move on to division. And in science, we're studying about planets. They're studying about that at co-op as well. And then at home, we're just doing supplemental stuff. And then obviously we're having like, Emma Kate has reading and phonics that we do together, and we're using All About Reading for that. And then Grayson does independent reading, some grammar practice worksheets, and then for writing he does IEW. So I've had a few people ask what curriculum we use. It's kind of all over the place. We just mix and match everything, so hopefully that's a little bit helpful though. Somebody's awake from her nap. You got crazy here. You ready to eat some lunch? You wanna eat? Say eat. Eat. Are you trying to get in the Legos? Oh no, not the Legos. We gotta get them up. All right, let's get some lunch.
Little girl. Give me a hug.
Ran away.
Come here.
Go see Daddy.
Give me a hug.
Ah! Go see Daddy.
Give me a hug.
Say boo.
Come here. Come here. Give me a hug. Did you miss me today, huh?
Yes. So something you may not know is that I own my own business. You know, in addition to the farm, I own a business. It's a glamping business, so like glam camping. So basically it's an events business where we do a lot of birthday parties. We do outdoor tents with mattresses and linens and just make it like really nice. And then we also do indoor sleepovers and picnics and that sort of thing here in Alabama. So it's called Glamping Alabama. So while the girls are playing and Grayson is doing his independent reading, I'm just trying to get caught up on some emails and updating a few things like on our website and stuff like that. So I'm about to knock that out and then we're going to finish schoolwork for the day. So we are wrapping up our schoolwork for the day. Grayson is doing his writing lesson right now and Emma Kate and I are going
doing reading.
Yes, doing her reading. So right now we're just making some different words for her to practice reading.
And I'm making her words.
Yes,
too.
and she's making me words to read. Ellison is watching Coco Melon, so
And I
that
have to put on
she
something
is.
different.
You gotta watch that. So she's occupied for us, so we can get this done real quick.
Yeah.
And then we'll be done with school for the day. We finished a little bit later today because we've kind of just like spread it out throughout the day. Typically we try to knock it out more before lunch, but today it just didn't work out that way, and that's okay. That's the beauty of homeschool, and we get the flexibility to kind of do a schedule how we want to. So we're going to work on this now. Right, the kids are done with school, and my dad actually came and picked up the two big kids to come hang out at their house, and my mom and dad's house for a little while. And then they, on Wednesdays where our home church doesn't have a church service, we only have church like the first Wednesday of the month. So on the other Wednesdays of the month, they go to a local church youth group with a lot of their friends. So they'll hang out with my parents until time for that, and my parents will go drop them off because it's like right down the road from their house. And then I will go pick them up at the end of that. They'll eat dinner there and all that. So Ellison's taking a nap. Matt is at the farm. He's moving the cow, checking on the pigs, all the things that need to be done this afternoon since he was able to do it this morning. And I'm about to sit back down at the computer, knock out some more work for my business, and then probably just wrap up a few things around the house and cook dinner for us. So the rest of the night will be pretty laid back and boring since the kids will be gone. I think Matt has to go back to work for just a little bit tonight for the older youth at our church, like the teenagers. They do have something tonight, so he's gonna go by that for a little bit. But that's all. We'll just be hanging out, you know, doing stuff around the house, eating. But I hope that you have enjoyed a little peek into our day, and I hope to do this again another day soon. I would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. Check out some of our other videos. We've got lots of homesteading content if that's something that you're interested in. But otherwise, have a great week. Bye.